Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today we're going to be building basic cardboard gauntlets. Enjoy. So the first thing you're going to want to do is draw out a piece we're going to cut out 3 of. And that piece right there, you add some curves so it doesn't run into the other cardboard pieces. And that piece is approximately 8 inches long and 2 inches wide. So after you cut that piece out, just trace it 2 more times onto another piece of cardboard and then cut those out. So once you've cut out 3, you're going to want to choose which side you want to be exposed. And I'm going to flip these over because these sides are clean. And then you're going to want to bend them at the edges. This is important that you bend these edges because those will be the designated rivet spots. So do that to all 3 pieces, just like that. Now you're going to want to put the pieces on top of each other, separate them about 1.5 inches away from each other, and then where that bend is, I get a small screwdriver, and not at the bottom like I did in my previous gauntlets that flex. You're going to want to put a hole near the top and make sure you put it where there's enough cardboard to support the rivet. I recommend getting these large golden paper fasteners from Walmart or Staples or something, even Amazon, because they're just longer and the more material you'll have to work with is just simply better. But then stick that fastener through the gauntlet and then do that to both sides, and then we'll move on to the next step. So after you put that fastener through, you're going to put the second piece on the third piece, and then you're going to do the same thing. And then what I do is I just use hot glue to seal those down. You could also use duct tape if you would like. But the thing is about these being long, you can bend them into the shape of the gauntlet like that, and it will hold its shape too. So now you should have this flexible piece of armor that should go on your hand like that. I have this piece that I drew out on this cardboard, and I measured it by using the end where your fingers are going to be. You decide which side your fingers are going to go on, and that's how wide it's going to be. So I cut out that same exact piece, put a slit down the middle with a little bit of a curve, and then I'm going to bend these pieces in pretty much every way possible. And when that's bent, you're going to glue that seam together like that, and that will portray a slight curve like real metal. So now that you have that piece glued down completely, you're going to just glue it in place, no rivets needed, on to the tip of the gauntlet like that. Leave a little bit of it exposed, and that will just add some dimension to the rest of the piece. So next you're going to want to get a piece of elastic. I got this from Walmart. This stuff is very clutch because you can put it on things like gauntlets, and then here's the other piece I finished, and it will stretch and it won't damage the cardboard. I usually used to use duct tape, but when you pull, that would have a lot of stress on the cardboard and it would wear and tear faster. So I'm going to use elastic. I'm going to put glue only where there's a blue X because those are the points of contact where glue needs to be. I'm going to leave a little bit of extra elastic hanging off the end there to attach to some wrist guards. So now that we're done with the hand part, I'm going to build this piece right here. And that consists of the hand part and then a scrap piece of cardboard. And then using that extra tail of elastic on your gauntlet, you're going to want to glue that to this bracer. After that's glued on there, you're going to get another piece of elastic and just glue it from the outside over just to secure your arm in place. Okay, so I added another piece of elastic right there, but this piece of elastic is drying underneath the hot glue. So that is just to add some extra wrist support so it stays in place when you bend your hand. And also I moved this piece of elastic down a little bit and I gouged that out for the thumb. I added another piece of elastic down here on the bracer. And next we're going to add another piece of armor to the bracer and then work on the thumb. These 2 pieces right here, one's left and one's right, but they both have slight angles to them, and they're just random scrap pieces of cardboard, and I'm using this mostly for the aesthetic and design. So I cut around to smooth out the edges, and then I made them identical. This is the right gauntlet, I'm going to glue this closer to the bottom of the forearm, and that's going to stick out like a wing right there, and that's just for extra protection when you go to guard yourself from like an attack. It's going to take the impact, and also it just provides a little bit more protection when it sticks out like that. And remember, don't glue this piece all the way down. You want this part to like stick out. And then start from the top and just fold that over. And it should stick out about right there. With that much excess left, I gotta clean up that glue job. But yeah, on to the next piece. Now that those are glued on, we're going to work on the thumb armor. So for the left thumb here, I have this piece which was also cut from a scrap. It's just like a random oblong-ish egg shape, and same with this one, but I plan to wrap it around my thumb a little bit. The plan is that's going to go on the end of your thumb, and then a piece of elastic will connect these two overlapping like that, and then both of those pieces will be on the left gauntlet overlapping like that. So that's fixed into place with a piece of elastic. I also flipped over a piece of Gorilla duct tape to make a loop for your thumb to fit through. I also did the same thing for this, so if I just put my hand in it, this is how it will function. And it might not match all of your dexterity with your hand, but it will provide the protection needed, and this is the simplest way I can provide an example of gauntlets. Alright, so these are pretty much finished, and I'm going to show you a close-up of all the details. And then the last thing we have to do is just go paint them. And here they are, fully painted, nice and shiny. Way better than my last ones here, as you can see. They're a little bit smaller, and they don't have the vambrace attachment either. So there you go. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like these basic builds that I do, like and subscribe for more videos.